Mike of Van and Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Arachir Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the saves we continue on as Dol Amroth, the last for this week, or rather the last for last week, I suppose, and it'll be Adrian hereafter. But we have, of course, recently registered Harad out of the game. Khand still press from their eastern hold. Zimlad Khanan is threatening Vildan Kalame every 2 seconds, so we've always got that to watch out for. Apologies, turn my headset down there. And but in the south, Imrahil and his mighty companion Istion are going to mop up that of the Ardenaim that they can until our army under Artheon comes down from Imrahil's point. The battle at Imrahil's point will not be difficult, and Lord Herumor will fall, and it is our then sincere hope that we can take Khaldun, where we find Ar-Gimilchad, the actual faction leader, which may well then regicide them out of the game as well. Now, if Khand then side with the Blue Wizards, then the game is very in the bag, so we're hoping that they don't do that. But for now, Imrahil is going to attack Nimruzimir. Apologies for the map being all wacky at the moment. I alt-tabbed before I'd reduced the size of the map and before I started recording. Now, Nimruzimir has Rosadan footmen, halberdiers. There'll be both of those an issue, the halberdiers especially, but the warriors, the raiders and the archers will all fall without any trouble whatsoever, in glorious charges as they often do. Thank you to all for your feedback on the DaC faction lore Gundabad video that released on Sunday. I was very pleased with the video, to be honest. There were some very good ideas in the comments. There were things that I should add in the future, and I'll take those on board and certainly look into doing that for when I do the next one. I have no idea which faction will be next. Oh, sorry, bear with me just 1 second. I turned those down to record it, actually. Let's bung those back up. I don't know which faction will be next, but I will carry on with those videos, and I will make them a replacement for the faction overviews until, of course, version 5 releases. But we can just start this one. The only thing I was thinking to do is that one of the key things that I thought that no one did comment on, but I think would work better, is perhaps when I'm talking about the Divide and Conquer side of the lore, and I'm speaking specifically about the faction setup section. When I was talking about their faction leader and heir, for example, I think it would be better to then actually just record the campaign map so that you can see what I'm actually talking about, and then we could check some of the ancillaries that the faction heir has, and it would tie in better to what I'm saying at that point, and I think that would be a good change for them. Oh, if you change and hit those raiders, actually, you'll get 2 in 1. There we are, absolutely smashed through. And those Rosadan footmen have been hit by Istion, who pulls out with little to no casualties. We've lost about 5 people, and that's 10% of our army. Right, take down those warriors in full, take down those footmen. Now, I'm sure that absolutely nothing will come through on the video, but this video is slightly different in that I'm using a different headset that Jessica and I recently purchased to use when we go running, but it's a very, very interesting musical device, and I wanted to see what it was like for a recording, because I often use a headset when my normal headset runs out of power when I play games in Discord or things like that. Then I just plug in like a normal set of plugged in earphones, and I'm hoping that this might replace them. So I'm recording this one with a new headset, which does mean that I can hear myself much clearer than I normally can, because my other headset is basically noise cancelling, so my voice, I don't hear my voice very well, so I often end up shouting. So this one, there's a real risk that I might be much quieter than usual because I can hear myself, so I know that this time I'm not blaring into the microphone. Oh, Istion, that was absolutely awful. What on earth possessed you to do that at the end there? Right, what are we on? 37. We're not doing too well, actually, this time. Let's shut down those archers. Let's get Istion around the back. Ah, there we are. Pull straight through, pull straight through. Don't get caught by the halbs. Now, the halberdiers, of course, as already mentioned, are the biggest threat, and we might have to sacrifice Istion. Although Istion is having real trouble. Have you got someone caught somewhere or something? Oh, wow, and look at that. We've just absolutely... we've just gotten Imrahil practically murdered. We're down to 12 and 11. What did we just keep him in contact with there that we shouldn't have done? Spears, I think. Yeah, these footmen are doing much better than we would have liked them to.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
I think we might have to retreat, to be honest. I don't think we have the units to take on a full-size halberdier battalion. But that's not the end of the world. We're only trying to harass this army. And fleeing doesn't mean death, it just means fleeing. See if you can charge into the back of those as well, Istion, and support Imrahil, who has not charged again and has sort of just pulled up out of nowhere. What on earth are you doing? Oh, there we are. Istion charged. But they're just not enjoying running today. I think we will just run away. We'll just call this. And I will run them away rather than press escape, just to make sure that they definitely get out. But we're only buying ourselves time until the army at Imrahil's Point can make its way south.
Have snatched victory from us like thieves in the night.
Oh, they still lost half their army though. But 34 out of 52 is too many. Much too many. If you do have any other thoughts and feedback for the faction lore video, then please do say. I would take on advice, but do note that that Gundabad video was 15 minutes in length, and it took me 3 hours to make that video, and that is a long time for 15 minutes worth of footage. So anything that suggested that essentially increases the workload for those videos, I'm unlikely to take those on board. Have we been besieging that for our turn already? No, we've still got to keep going, and Barad Khan is going to fall shortly as well, isn't it? But where's our faction leader? Oh, he's over there still. We need to get troops to Vildan Kalime, but we are losing money hand over fist because of Artheon. So let's end the turn and see what happens. And hope things tick past. This video also is a day later than it should have been. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. As long as there are the 3 videos in the week, with then the 4th one of being these new faction lore videos. It doesn't really matter when they go up, as long as they go up in order. So I'm not too concerned. But it is a day late. Usually it would go up on the Monday. Today is Tuesday. Today is the first day of my 4-day holiday, because everyone in England had Monday off. Well, most of us did, those of us not in retail. It was a bank holiday. But I then have the rest of the week off as well. Captain Asgarzir, what is Barad Khan? Not good enough to kill the rest of those units. So I think we're just going to auto-resolve that and accept the loss. We'll take it back in just a moment. I think I am going to march Artheon south so that we can take the regions as we go, rather than sailing down to Umbar, capturing it, and then trying to expand from there. I think we will just walk towards Umbar and slowly beat them down that way. Also because they do get a last stand army, and it does spawn near Umbar. So we want to be down that way when we reduce them down to 3 regions, ideally.
Maintain order. Come and get
Nimruzimir survives the ordeal. You are heading over here, aren't you, to take Finabel? Oh, hang on. Finabel is under siege by the Ardanaim of all people. They've come in from the... Oh, they must have brought an army from there, surely. A small one, though. They didn't have any forces, really, in Amunithel. But they've gotten something down there. And oh, if you can train some units... of course you can't. I don't know how I'm trying to do that. We've got no money. Right, we're going to have to go. We should get Gondor in on this fight, though, actually. Oh, but they don't have any... Oh, no, but the gates are already destroyed, aren't they? Oh, yes. Fantastic, fantastic. I don't want to command that army, and I don't want to command that army. Let the AI do it, and let them do all the dying for us, to be honest. Right. Now, as I say, there are no gates. They've already been destroyed, so siege equipment isn't actually needed. So I think Gondor will just rush in and do most of this work for us. And it doesn't matter if they're the ones that kill all the defenders. We are the ones that clicked attack, so we will get the town.
Let's pray it remains as such.
But I haven't... This is the first time I've ever actually fought a battle with an ally. And what have they brought? Units that we could use ourselves. So absolutely no distinction. Although, of course, their archer militia, that's a unit now that we just don't get. So that visual is now unique to Gondor. Of course, ours have been replaced with... Oh, we haven't got any here. But the Amrothian archers have replaced it. But there's the Gondor militia, the variant. Oh, they've got some territorial guardsmen. We don't get those. And there's Amphalas pikemen at the back. Of course, we are going to have to help them out. I mean, the AI is not going to win, let's be honest. But hopefully we will have to send very little in. And we'll still win it. Let's see. It looks like they are going for the attack. Yes, they're manoeuvring in straight away. So, does the enemy have any archers? We want to steer clear of those. I really am going to try and do this with 0 losses. The only thing I can accept dying is something from our general's bodyguard, because he will replenish. But everything else, I do not want any losses. And if Gondor's going to take... Oh, don't go piecemeal, you fools. What are you doing? Oh, God. They're going to rush off to their deaths. Oh, dear. Ho-hum. Right, we'll send in our pikemen, because if we do have to march down the line, then we want units that... If we are going to actually have to take losses, then we want a unit that's unlikely to take many losses. Although the Lambden Clansmen would also be a good unit, because we can't retrain them for a very long time, whereas everything else is Amrothian, other than the Anfalas pikes. So if they take losses, it doesn't really matter as much, because that unit is a ticking time bomb. Like, once it's gone, it's gone. So using it, I don't mind using it up. But with the enemy's faction leader here, I think it is probably going to be a bit of a steep ordeal for Gondor to actually take the victory without us. But they've got quite a few troops, and I think they might be able to just slog through. But our army is moving in. Let's move our archers up to help. No point forcing them to stand alone, is there? Right, you guys come up the hill, come to there, and we'll send the general in as well. And then, as I say, let's get those archers in. Right, Gondor is now right in amongst them. The enemy's lost 6%, but so have we. Oh dear, no, Gondor is definitely not going to win this. No way, Jose. So we are going to have to take losses, I'm afraid. I was hoping Gondor's army might be just a touch bigger than it actually is. But sadly, it is not. It is quite a weak and pathetic little army. And Lambden Clansmen, can I get you to come down the side? Yeah, there you go. Go to there. And let's get them to go there. And you guys can run. And then stop and start firing. Kill what you can, kill what you can. Oh, that's archer militia. Oh, well done. And there's our Lambden Clansmen. Oh, they're pushing through to try and get to our archers. What's this here? Enemy archer militia. Yeah, just try and do some
only half the enemy force remains.
Flanking on those. Our pike units are taking a right beating.
This, we will smash the enemy.
But the Lambden are getting stuck in there. Oh, that was an excellent charge. Well done, sir. And go again, go again.
Our ally lies dead, slain by the enemy.
Our ally died ages ago. I'm worried about that. They've sandwiched themselves between 2 pike lines. They've taken the worst possible decision. But that is a dream for us, so I'm not going to question it.
Our men are in command of the castle.
Right, come out of defensive stance, move in on those Southron defenders. Oh, they got Southron defenders. Oh, that's interesting. We did lose, unfortunately, quite a few pikes, but some will resurrect. But Gondor, like, we just had to fight. Gondor was never going to do it.
Our men no longer command the castle.
So the enemy is basically dead, though.
Good tidings.
Oh, fantastic.
The enemy general lies dead.
And the faction leader of the Ardenaim falls. Oh, we lost 208, but Gondor lost basically everything. Yeah, it was never going to be any other way. Pikemen took 225, 127 Amphalas pikes, 104 the Lambda. But then the general took 79 down, which is no small amount. Good work all round, I'd say there. Disappointing, though, that we did take losses, particularly with the pikes. I don't know why the pikes sort of turned around on themselves and forced the enemy into a corridor. It probably actually did stand them in good stead. I mean, the Royal Guard, the Narut and Aru, are a fantastic unit, a very powerful spear unit, and they will get kills, so deaths are inevitable. But we're not too concerned, to be honest. With Harad gone down anyway, it doesn't matter all that much if we do take losses. But speaking of units that just lost out, let's leave the Lambden behind, actually, and move on our merry way. Boat, have you got any movement?
Ships ready. Awaiting your command.
Oh, fantastic. Yes! And then you can take out that.
And the grapples and prepare.
Get rid of those rebels. We had rebels up here, although they've been freed up. Brilliant. Come down and besiege ports and things like that. Where is the nearest port? I don't know, actually. Come down and be a spy, then, in that case.
Yes, sir. Ready your weapons. Assail the enemies of Gondor.
We'll take that straight back.
Let us claim this field.
Imrahil's point gives us 455 a turn. And hopefully the Gondorians will now just leave, having done their part. Mordor doesn't like me very much. No surprises there.
My lord.
Varathor is ready to be the governor, and the garrison, rather, sorry, of Finabel. Tal al-Jaf, I asked for names to name it after Istion, and many interesting names were submitted, but the one that I liked the most and rang off the tongue the most was Istiost, which is, of course, just the first part of his name married to the Sindarin word for town, Ost. So, in truth, it is basically just his name, but with an Ost instead of an on at the end. But I like that one the most, and it seemed to sort of it flowed the nicest, probably because it is literally just his name, but slightly tweaked. But I did like that one. I'm just thinking that no, I really would like Finabel, and with the army now actually on the way. I mean, we'll take Barad-Han now in a turn because we'll attack straight away. We won't let them rest on their laurels. Straight down to Mirlond, and then we'll probably mop up Arghim-Ulchad on our way through Khaldun. So I don't think Imrahil needs to go back west. Because I was thinking now that they've left him alone as all on his own in that town, Khaldun, we could regicide them quite easily. But if that is really their last family member, though, I think they do have a family tree. In fact, I know they have a family tree. They're not Teutonic, so it is finite. There's only so many people that can take it. But the AI does accept adoptions into the family tree every time they're presented. So they may well already have another person. They might already have like 10 or 15 people for all we know. Oh, Erebor has been besieged. Ah, and they failed at Finabel. Fantastic. What unit is in there that has been such a challenge for them? A single Southron warband. What madness is this? We were to blockade Umbar, but we've not done that. Oh, hello. You're going to kill me, aren't you? Yes, you are, absolutely. But screw it. And where did my ships just go? Over here. Get rid of that one, and we'll keep that one as a ferry.
Mariners of the fleet.
We got the grain exchange in Istios, and Vilna Academy got a militia garrison. Oh, just in time. Oh, Khan Arkish himself. Fantastic. Welcome, sir. We have plenty of space in our graveyard for you and your entourage. Right, Barad-Han will attack that in a moment. What happened down here? Azruban is just a general. He doesn't appear to be a family member, but he's moving off. Oh, look, exactly the same situation. We've got battering rams, haven't we? Yes. And this time, Arvelon comes with us. This same general who just fought with us at Imrahil's Point, actually. Now, this time, we probably can leave it to him, actually. So all we've got to do is smash down the walls and let Gondor take care of the rest. Why is Gondor... what is the difference if I do that or don't do that? If I don't do that, the army still comes into the battle, doesn't it? But if I do that, does it start on the battlefield with me, or does it come in as reinforcements? I can't quite remember. I'm going to go with that one and leave it at that.
Don't let them any further.
I'm thinking they don't join my army. Or do they? Is that how you get them to actually join your army? I can't remember. I don't think that you do, because they're reinforcements from another faction, so you're not normally able to actually control them yourself. No, I didn't think so. But this is the one where we've said no, so it seems that just the image of our enemy has disappeared. So that's the only difference. Right, Guardsman, you can go forward with the ram. You're our cheapest unit. And we'll have the archers primed and ready. Although, no, why? We're not going to get any kills, and all we're going to do is die to those towers. So, smash down that gate, endure the losses, and then run away. Those are going to be our only losses, hopefully. And then we will just sit and wait and let Gondor run all the way round. Because, of course... Oh, no, hang on. Gondor brought a ballista crew, didn't they? So they might be smashing down their own gate. Please tell me you are. Oh, yes, you are. I didn't even need to go in. Oh, I definitely didn't need to go in. They've run out. Drop the ram, run away. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, bugger. Bugger, 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 bugger. We've taken incredibly unnecessary losses. If you can fire, please do, but don't worry too much if you can't. Right, so they managed to stop us. but not before we broke the gate, is that? No, they did just open the gate, but now it's wedged for some reason. Oh, because those people are trapped on the ramp. But on the other side, Gondor has broken through and will be coming shortly. Oh no, what are you doing with those? We need the ballister crews to stop firing, and then as soon as they do, the rest of their army will move through. But they're sending the militia around to come and go through our gate. That was poor form on my part, and we have lost 15 men unnecessarily. Because we didn't actually need to assault their force at all, because Gondor will do it themselves with their ballister crews. But they've just got to break through the rest of the wall, or rather they've just got to use up all the ammunition, and then they will come. And here they go. Right, smashing. So let's follow Gondor's attempts to take this city and then give it to us as a sign of good faith.
Captured the enemy's walls.
Right, they're sending in the cavalry first, as they often like to do, which unfortunately is where their general lies. That's just something I do not understand. Medieval 2 thought that it was better to have everyone's general be mounted and then set the AI's behaviour to always send the cavalry in first. It's like they wanted to kill off all their own generals.
Our ally lies dead, slain by the enemy.
Anyway, the captain's gone. The territorial guardsmen are going forward, where they meet Rosadan halberdiers. We do have one unit that can come through, though. Our general will happily get involved, so we can support in that way. All the halberdiers have pulled back, though, as more of Gondorian's forces have pushed through. 34% of the enemy has died. We've captured the gate. And then there we are, we're in amongst our enemy.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
We've lured the halberdiers out.
They have lost half their men.
Oh dear. I mean, of course they were going to lose. They have 2 units. This is one of those situations where if the AI could, it would say, would you mind auto-resolving, please? Because I know I'm going to lose this. But of course they can't do that, so we have to fight it out.
Our men have slain the
Oh, and their
general.
captain's down, and the archers are
like
wavering, but they've got nowhere to
will
run
smash
anyway,
the
so it's
enemy.
killing them all. Pull out again, and then charge the halberdiers in the back. Take some of those archers with you as you go through. Nice. Go again, go again, go again.
Our men have taken control of the city.
And it's basically
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours. Be awed by the victory
success.
we have won
14
here
men perished. How disappointing. Ervalon lost 110, but the enemy lost them all, of course. And again, we take the town and we move on to Gobel Mirlond. Our reclamation is going well. 2 towns in as many turns. That's not too bad. And Gondor has been very, very helpful. Now, there have been comments that have suggested that whilst, yes, this campaign may now be considerably simpler, and with Harad gone, we just need to very quickly take down the Ardenaim so that we can hold Khand. Because if Khand don't side with the wizards, there is still a fight in this. Khand will not roll over and give in. But of course, Mordor, the ever-present threat and danger, does lie away to the north. And we've got to try and get through quick enough so that we can start building an army to prepare for Mordor's inevitable onslaught. Let's leave behind those that fell.
Let us set up camp here.
And we move on to Gobel Mirlond. But I don't think that'll be a problem, to be honest, because if Gondor's southern border is entirely secured, which in this case it will be, they won't be attacked by Harad or the Ardenaim or Khand, which happened in the past. They can focus entirely on Mordor. Now, Mordor will still beat Gondor in those situations, and they will get through, but Gondor will be able to hold them back for at least a time. It won't be an insta loss for Gondor, if you will. We'll take Mirlond. Finabel will fall. We might as well just siege Finabel out for as long as we can. We'll see what Azruben does. But now that we are on our way to Mirlond, I don't think they're going to be worried too much about conquering new lands. I think they're going to instead come and try and focus on us. Oh, can you get there in time? No, bugger, you can't. Well, I'll tell you what, go to there, and then if Karnarkish doesn't attack the town, you can go into it on the next turn. That's disappointing. We can't get them down there. It's very disappointing how little money we have. We're not being besieged anywhere or anything anymore, though, so our low supplies are just because we've got this massive army. It's not even that big, is it? Woefully inadequate army, to be honest. But one of the key things you can, of course, do is Dol Amroth. One of the options, depending on how how much you enjoy defensive battles, you can turtle as Dol Amroth. That is an option. And the reason that is now an option, of course, is because the removal of the Corsair script. So without the Corsair invasions threatening your heartland, you can now just build up one army, sit outside Linhir, and economically develop your heartland in preparation for your later crusade or campaign. But you have to stay in Dol Amroth for about 30 to 40 turns to make that work, and you will be attacked a lot in that time. But also remember that once you are then ready to move out, your enemy has had 30 to 40 turns to expand into, conquer and claim all of this land and prepare it for themselves. So it is still a risk as well, but it is an option that cannot be taken away from it. If you could get a meeting hall here, that would be smashing. Once we take Gobel Mirlod back, I think we will start having a lot more money, actually. Oh, look, the rebels are coming to defend themselves. We should probably just attack, to be honest. But this one will have big towers, and it will take a lot of men. And I don't really want to lose a load of ground troops just to snap up this city. So we'll hold on, and we'll see what the AA do. Their naval supremacy is continuing. And so we are going to start losing more money again. Oh, I forgot to move you. You'll be killed shortly. But then, by besieging our ports, of course, they restrict our finances, which is not ideal. As financially, we are already in the crapper, and we need to try and retain money wherever we can. But I'm not going to try and beat the Ardenaim on the water. It's just not worth it. Their ships are better than ours. This was something, again, that I saw. Obviously, there is a suggestion thread on Discord. We only open it for 24 hours each weekend. And there's a reason we do that. To be absolutely brutal and frank with you all, we welcome your input, but most of the suggestions we receive are either not doable, completely ridiculous, or would require so much work that it's just not worth our time. So that's why we restrict the suggestions all, to be honest, because for every one suggestion that we actually think, yeah, that'll work, there are easily 10 to 20 that we think are just nonsense. Oh, this is going to be a ridiculously tough battle. We're going to have to really make sure that our sellswords get into this one, because everything in that army counters cavalry. But we'll give it a go. But something that was suggested the other day, which did make me chuckle, and so I implemented a new reaction, because the modders react to the suggestions with whether or not it's going to be included, whether it can't be included because it's physically not possible in the game engine, whether it won't be included because we just don't like it, and then the fourth one is now already included. I've had 3 to 4, maybe even 5 actually, suggestions of things that are already in the game. And the latest one to my memory was a gentleman who suggested that the Ardenaim ships should be made stronger because they are the, of course, best naval nation other than the elves, and so they should be stronger than the Gondorian ships, which just made me roll my eyes so badly, because they already are stronger than the Gondorian ships. That is a feature, and it really annoys me when people suggest things that are already in the mod, because it then is painfully apparent that they have not actually played enough of the mod to know whether or not what they seek is in the game. But also, if you do have a suggestion and you think, oh, I think this would be a really good idea for the game, surely your first thought is, maybe I should just check and see if that's already in the game, and then suggest it. But no, we get a lot of people suggesting what's already done, so we implemented a new reaction for that. He also said that the Ardenaim ships should be able to move further. And I'm afraid that I'm here to tell you that all ships can already move as far as the game engine actually allows, and they can move considerably further than they could in Third Age because we buffed them all substantially. But the game massively restricts ships with troops in them. So whilst they can move further than they could in Third Age, when units go on board ships, their movement range is hugely nerfed. So you may have noticed that ships without armies can move really, really far, but ships with armies can barely do anything. Oh, go on then. Oh, for goodness sake, what is the problem today? The cavalry is just not doing anything. Although I am manoeuvring it too soon there, but you've got to wait for them to sort of realign and take position. But the pikes have to go down, and we've got to catch them while we can. Because as soon as they turn around and fight back... Oh, thank goodness for that. I thought that was Imre.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Well, Muhad Beastmasters, not as terrifying as first thought. Oh, another general's dead. I've always thought that, actually. Wargs and, of course, camels are supposed to be really good against cavalry. And even since the base game, Medieval 2, they've always lauded cavalry. Camels as being good against cavalry. But in truth, camels are rubbish. They just don't have any of the bonuses they're supposed to have. And I think it's really, really noticeable. Also, look at that. The sellsword is a fantastic unit. He's taking on 2 pike units and winning.
Only half our force remains. If we continue like this,
Istion, you go and capture them. And Imrahil, one risky but glorious charge.
The enemy army
Yes, fantastic.
Pursue and run them down.
Go on, go and get them all. Go and get them all. Go on. But like in that situation, Istion had what, 12 men, and that was a full battalion of Muhad Beastmasters, and he wiped them all out, and he only lost 6 people. That is not how it should be. That was way too many lost. Istion, have you got them all yet? No, there are 7 left. That'll do.
The enemy
80 men lost, well over 500 for our
This is
enemy.
a great
193,
victory,
Imrahil did well, but
worthy of
Istion,
only the mightiest of
he took down 41, but of course most of those were the Beastmasters, so we're grateful to him for that. But there is a clear indication that the rebels do act a little more in their own interest than they used to, and they will actually band together to try and defend regions that they own. And it's not entirely... they're not like independent city-states, that even though the rebels, of course, aren't connected, they are sort of connected by the sub-factions that they are broken down into.
Shall they return?
Well, we can only occupy this one because we've sacked it so many times. Artheon wants to take someone on board. I probably should have said yes, actually, because you're our main army. Making your way down the coast, and we've arrived at Mirlond, and I'm hoping the Ardenine will pull back for that. But no, they're going to take Istiost. Damn, those mercenaries are getting pay. They are going to die. We actually lose money in Finabel. There are so few people here that the city is not profitable. Because I've killed them so many times. But we've got towers, which is nice. Nice to see that Khand are mopping up that which we have not claimed. But Gondor are coming through again and assisting. And we're still losing money though. But once we take Mirlond, well, of course we're losing money. Finabel is literally losing money, as is Istiost. But once Mirlond falls and we move down to Khaldoon, I think Azruban will pull back at that point. He won't continue his reign, as it were.
Ready your weapons. Forward.
And Imrahil, you...
Set up camp.
Oh, Finabel hates us. How many people are in that battalion? 71. And we're as low as we can go. It's because there's no 3% Dunedain. But I think Imrahil probably has enough on his own to take Ammonithel. We'll go and have a look. But we'll keep moving south through here. Now remember, once they get under 3 regions, they will get their last stand. And at the moment, they've got 5. So once we cross, if we take Ithel and Mirlond together, once we cross the river, then anything else we take, we'll see them spawn a large army in their defence, which will be trouble. But that is a problem for next week when we revisit Dol Amroth. For that, we'll conclude today's video, and the rest of the videos this week will be Ered Luin. So thank you very much for watching, and until we speak again, dear friends, Nevar Naden Bedemad Melodin, and farewell.